Hello again, dear friends. Another update on the Without a Paddle saga. Oh, which reminds me, a couple days ago, a good buddy of mine and I were watching the movie Without a Paddle. And if you haven't seen it before, it's about three dudes, they go on an adventure, and it goes absolutely haywire. Seems really poignant now, thinking about the fact that that's exactly what has happened to me. My adventure, this one is not exactly all that grand either. The mistake that screwed me is a complete and total accident. It wasn't because of poor planning, it was just shit that happened, you know? But I found a spot here, not too far off from the main highway, but I still got 38 miles until I get to Flagstaff, so, it's gonna be a while. I was trying to hitchhike, but nobody seemed particularly interested in picking me up. I started to smile, because before I was walking down the road and I had my bandana up, and I was like, hey, help me, and that doesn't look all that inviting, so I pulled it down and started smiling at folks instead, and it didn't make a difference. There was one lady, even, that was driving towards me, and I was smiling real big at her, and she looked at me and was like, no. I saw her mouth it. What the hell? Very, very funny, lady. Very, very funny. But, so, as I was saying earlier, I was reading Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. And it's about a man who is trying to catch fish. But the themes that it touches upon are very strong. In a very, very short span of time, it touches very, very powerfully on the themes of resilience, willpower, perspective, love, and respect. All very, very powerful. And me being out here, stranded, basically, I am glad I read it. Because I'm going to be needing some willpower and resilience. And to speak on that, I think perspective is where I'll start. There was a song I heard not long ago by the Front Bottoms called Everybody Blooms. And there's a line in it in which he says, attitude and outlook, I realize now it matters. Attitude and outlook. Perspective. I might say that is perhaps one of the most important things in your life that you can have in your life, because your perspective defines your entire existence, how you look at things. Because if you see the world in black and white, good and evil, you're a great person, everybody else is bad, that defines it. If you're a Christian and you believe that wholeheartedly, that God is up there in heaven and the devil's down there in hell, and that depending on what you do in life, you go to one or the other, that defines your life. That defines who you are in your life. Your perspective, not to say it can't change and that your definition can't change, but that is who you are in a lot of ways. It is who you build yourself up to be. In the way that I have come to see it, because I have been outrageously optimistic in my life, to a fault in many times. But I'm starting to see now that reality is right here down the middle. No matter where you are looking at reality, reality is always the same, and it is always running the same as it always has. All this, whatever we all see. That is what we will call reality, that which we all experience. And there's a lot of different ways to look at it to make it not light, not small, but I guess to trim it down a bit. There's two ways to look at life, either from a positive perspective or a negative one, optimistic or pessimistic. And we're going to avoid the extremes because I've been on the extreme of toxic positivity where the negative did not exist, and that is not an accurate view of reality. And neither is the view of reality where you're sitting over here in a depressed or anxious or just wretched state of mind where you're thinking this is all pointless, life sucks, there's nothing, there's no purpose, there's blah, blah, blah. That is also not conducive to a healthy outlook on reality. There was a quote from a doctor. I cannot think of his name right now, but he was on the Midnight Gospel. He had a, which you should watch. It's on Netflix. It is fantastic. But the quote he said is that, and I paraphrase, I think true health is to be able to look at and accept reality on reality's terms. Yeah, I could agree with that. And so back to the attitude and the outlook. So here's your life. Something happens in it. Get into a car wreck. So you have the optimistic and the pessimistic view. You could say, oh, that's okay. It's just a material thing. It's not that big of a deal. At least I'm alive. I still have my friends and my family and my health. Great. Or the other one, oh shit, that was my car. How am I going to get to work? How am I going to live? How am I going to do this? God, it's going to cost so much to get a new one. I'm already in debt. Blah, 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 blah. And those, I think, are both balanced views on one side or the other. Neither one is going too far over, but they can lend themselves and become destructive in either way. To bring them together, though, I've found, is to have a pessimistic optimism or optimistic pessimism, because both of those are true. Do not deny the fact that you're going to have to find a new car because you need to get to work. And do not be so unconcerned with material things that you're willing to just let shit fall apart. No. Both of those are true. And then, this is where it really gets in to what I'm trying to get at here. You can change your perspective. It is very possible. It is not necessarily easy, but it is very real and it is very possible. And this is where practices like meditation come into play. Now, I'm not telling you to meditate. I'm not telling you it's a cure-all. But I am telling you it would make a difference. But the whole idea of meditation, or at least in the beginning, in the most basic way, is to make you mindful. And you probably heard that word. But mindfulness is just awareness. Non-judgmental awareness. And when I say that, to be mindful is to see the thoughts coming in. Okay. Oh, I'm having a negative thought. My life sucks. The car is fucked. Everything, I gotta do this and blah, and that's, and those are assailing you. And it's very easy to just let your mind run with that. But when you have that one mindful moment, boop, oh, I'm thinking these thoughts. These thoughts are not helpful. I've been thinking in circles the last frickin' 5 days. When you can have one moment of clarity to see, oh, this is being destructive. Oh, this is hurting me. I don't need to think like this. You can shift your attitude. You can shift your perspective by saying, oh, think about the car, everything sucks. Well, then take it a little bit to the other side. It is just a material thing. I'm glad I'm okay. It is just a car. I can always get another one. I can always make more money. And it's that easy. Well, it becomes a practice in and of itself. It's very, very easy to say these things, but much, much harder to put it into practice. Because when you've been living with anxiety or depression or any of the myriad mental illnesses out there, it takes you over. And the mind does that. Like Swami Vivekananda says, the mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. And I do not believe that most of us consciously use our minds. Our minds habitually go in patterns. It's how we make sense of the world. We label things, we create habits, so that everything makes sense in our life. And so you have to keep doing it over and over. Every time you see those negative thoughts, no, that's not how it is. I don't have to think like that. And as long as you're not in the depths of anxiety, and it's not an attack, and it's not overbearing, it's just your thoughts going, those are the moments when taking a breath, looking around, feeling your body, feeling your heart, thinking about your friends, thinking about your family, that's the moment that can really help. It can bring you back to here for just a second. And that's all you need. Just one mindful moment. And then you can start to shift. And start to shift. And start to shift. You can look at yourself clearly and see, oh, this is hurting me. This is not helping. This is causing me pain. I don't need to think about this. I've been thinking about it over and over and over and over and over. Okay, even if what you're thinking about is true, accept it. Take a deep breath. And focus on what you're doing. Earlier, whenever I was walking down the road, I had a bunch of thoughts that were assailing me. And they would not go away. And it was causing pain and distress. And whenever I realized that, I took a deep breath. I looked around at the majesty of what's around me. The fact that I'm in a place I've never been, that I'm on a real adventure right now. Not to say that I am about to be down in temperatures in the teens tonight, and I'm not going to be able to sleep comfortably. I'm going to have to just take little naps as I watch the fire so that I make sure I don't have don't freeze because of lack of warmth. And that's the real nitty-gritty of it right now. But it's what I have to do because I'm surviving. But it's going to be okay. And earlier, like I said, whenever I was like, I calmed down. I looked at things a little bit different. There was ice on the road that was frozen, like pools of water that were frozen. I was sliding across them, just trying to have fun. I was having fun. I wasn't trying. And then a truck came by and gave me a lift down the road. I would still be in those woods right now if that truck had not come by. So thank you, sir. Thank you greatly. And then I made my way. And I kept going. And you have to keep going. Because unless you decide you're going to fucking kill yourself, you have to keep going. And if there's only two ways to look at life, either positive or negative, well, actually, I'm saying we're going to have a balance here. But everything is going to be okay. Take it from the guy who's out in the fucking woods right now surviving. Everything's going to be okay. No matter what mistakes you've made. No matter what mistakes you've made. As long as you choose life, you'll make it. And this has a lot to do now with the willpower as well. Some might say that willpower is non-existent. And in some cases, I can see that. But if you have a will to live, you'll be okay. To know that there are people that care about you, even if it doesn't seem like it. It's okay to live for yourself. It's okay to live for others. It's okay to live. You're going to make it. You're going to be all right. And I'm going to make it. I'm going to be all right. Or at least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself. And that willpower really comes in here. To be able to keep doing it day by day. And not think, oh God, how long until I'm okay? How long until these thoughts? How long? No. Just be here now. Really. Truly. Living in the moment. When you're right here, right now, then nothing can get to you except what's right here. And right now, I have my health. I have this warmth. I have food. Got some black beans, organic. Gonna eat that up tonight. Yeah. So please, take care of yourself. And choose life. Even if life sucks right now. It doesn't have to, and it won't always. You can shift your perspective. You can be positive. You can see the good in the world because there is good in the world. There's also bad. But that's just how it is. Let's look at reality and accept reality on reality's terms. We can have our hopes and our dreams and our desires, but we have to look at the world for how it is and move within it, not let our minds and the world move us. So God bless you all. May you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever it is you are. Stay hydrated, get plenty of protein. And if a cat or a dog walks up to you on the street, by God, you better pet them and be grateful. Have a good night.